about that stuff from the novelizations and other things, but
Right.
none of that stuff existed. I was just a dork who was really, really into Star Wars, and I was in college, and I knew doing a play about Star Wars would make you very, very popular. That's what I knew, which really wasn't the case. And, you know, I was part of a class where people could bring in plays to do, and usually it was like Tennessee Williams or Christopher Durang, and I had just recently done my own original play, which was just about four guys hanging out and stuff, and we needed something else to do for the next semester, and I sort of came up with this goofy idea of why don't we try and do the Star Wars movies in 30 minutes, and it was a ridiculous idea, and thankfully I had a lot of smart actors in the class, and a couple more that we took that weren't even in the class joined in and just came up with this really weird, quick, fast-paced take on Star Wars in a theatrical setting, which you really shouldn't do. Because I'm not sure who's all aware of Star Wars, but even back in the day, they had these amazing sort of special effects, and to try and do that as 10 or 11 very poor college students in a tiny theater was really, really stupid. And so we just sort of took whatever we could that was around and tried to make it work as much as possible to sort of convey the story as quick as possible in as goofy a possible way as possible. And that's what we did.
Where was it that you went to school? I'm just wondering. That's kind of sounds like a fun class.
I went to USC. I was part of their theater program, and the class was this class called Experimentals. And at the time, they had a professor who was like a really cranky, sometimes mean, always vulgar professor named John Blankenship, who was just extraordinary. And he'd been teaching there when I had gotten there for at least 30 years already. And he'd even taught George Lucas back in the late 60s when the theater program and the cinema program were sort of connected.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so, it was a class where, you were forced to take it, and some people liked it, some people didn't. I loved it because this professor showed a lot of faith in me over the years. I mean, before we had done Star Wars, he let me do this, full-length play just about four guys, going to dinner over the course of a year and chatting and talking and trying to figure out sex and relationships and stuff like that. And we got a really great response. So the next semester, I took Experimentals again, because I thought, wow, that was a lot of fun. And we, in the course of that, we came up with Star Wars, and almost didn't do it. I mean, the actress we have who played Princess Leia then and even plays Princess Leia now, Maya Peters, convinced me at one of my weakest points where I thought of, just scrapping the whole thing like a couple weeks before we went up. Just saying, it's not going to work, there's no way, which is also sort of how I felt right before we just did what we did with the 60 Minutes. And she said, it's gonna be fine. Let's just keep doing it. Let's keep working. And and then it became this sort of thing that we just started off as doing as this sort of goofing around situation where we got to play Star Wars in front of people in this really bizarre and comedic way. Ended up being something that people responded to, and then we took it to the Edinburgh Festival, and then they started inviting us to celebrations, and then to Skywalker Ranch, and all over the place. And it just it was just supposed to be a goofy thing. It was basically what kids did before YouTube. That's what it came down to. It was our little goof, that sort of became bigger than we thought it could be.
Yeah, and I know Drew knows nothing about goofy things on YouTube.
Right, yeah, no. Nothing about that.
I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he's got some videos out there floating around YouTube on his YouTube channel.
I have some interesting takes on other movies.
Great, I'm going to have to check that out. No, I didn't. I had no idea. I've done absolutely no research here because I am lazy and I have two kids and I'm trying to finish up a book thing, and I'm bald, so I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm right there with you.
But yeah, I will check that out now. I had no idea.
Cool. So how did you get it? Have you done all the celebrations?
No, we didn't do the very first one because I don't think the first one didn't have a lot of anybody. I think even I didn't even know it existed until I didn't know Celebrations existed until C2. And then we got invited to that by Steve Sansweet, like the Lucasfilm. Every year before that, we had been getting the okay from Lucasfilm to do Star Wars in 30 Minutes at the Edinburgh Festival, and then like the French-American theater opening that we did in Paris and other stuff. We always went through them to get their okay. just because also Lucasfilm can crush you.
Right.
But Steve Sansweet heard about us, knew we'd been doing this thing, and invited us to C2, and that's where we sort of became even bigger than we had originally, you know, and there the people just went nuts for us. We had lines that went down to the end of the convention hall, and it was really incredible. I mean, it was really phenomenal. And then they had us back for C3 and C4. C5 we weren't able to make happen. And then C6, just this past summer is when we were able to premiere Star Wars in 60 Minutes,
right.
which, you know, they had requested of us 10 years ago this year.
Yeah. And
when I guess went.
You threw a little holiday special in there, too, if I remember right, towards the end.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's sort of in the middle. It's sort of the break point, because we do start off with the original trilogy first. And then we do holiday special, then we do prequels, and then we do a little encore thing at the end.
Right.
And I you know, when I was a kid, I remember seeing the holiday special, and I know, and I've seen it since. I'm a kid, so I'm not an idiot. But when I was a kid, it still meant a lot to me, and it was amazing to see, you know, anything sort of Star Wars at that point, because back then we just didn't have stuff. You know, I sound like a really old guy now, but I mean, it's like you could go online and find anything you want or download anything you want anytime you want. And back then, Star Wars, you always had to wait like 3 years, and that was it. So to have this sort of holiday special, even though it wasn't great, but the Boba Fett stuff was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was just good to see the characters again, you know, because it wasn't like you could check out a videotape at that point. You couldn't, you know, it was like 78 or 79, I think, and it just, you know, you just had to wait. And, you know, and I ended up, you know, I was like 4, I think, when Star Wars came out, and I saw it, and, you know, I just read the books over and over again. I had the storybook, I had the Star Wars album that I read all the time, and then, which was a book. It was called the Star Wars album, which always weirded me out, but it was actually a book, and I thought it was supposed to be like a record, and it wasn't. It was a book, and yet I love that thing. So, you know, you know, I do have a certain affinity for the holiday special. There are parts of where I watch now, and I'm sometimes kind of grossed out. You know, I think there's something really creepy going on with Itchy watching, you know, the hologram.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why I took the part of Itchy, to be quite honest. So I wanted to get a little bit across of that borderline sexual, you know, action that he's going for there. So yeah.
So how long did it take after you guys started performing it for Lucasfilm to find out about it, or?
Well, we did it as part of that experimentals class, and then we wanted to take it to the Edinburgh Festival the following summer. And so Lucasfilm didn't know we did it part of the class, and I didn't even call it Star Wars in 30 minutes at that point. I just called it the trilogy in 30 minutes, because I thought even then they might sue me, which was ridiculous. And even like on posters, we were saying the trilogy in 30 minutes. You know what we're talking about. And from the amount of people, the small amount of people that came to see the show, they did not know what we were talking about, because we just didn't have Star Wars in the thing. And, you know, but the people who saw it loved it, and we knew we had something special. And so my professor at the time, John Blankenship, contacted this professor over at the School of Cinema, this incredible guy, Ken Mura, who was sort of, for George Lucas, what my professor was to me. He was like his mentor back in the day. Showed him a videotape of what we had done, and then he said, yeah, this is funny, this is great, you know, I'll pass it on. And they passed it on, and thankfully Lucasfilm gave us the okay to do it at Edinburgh and as part of their festival. And, you know, we went back year after year after year. We got great crowds, great reviews. There was one weird review that we got that said that we had dustbins as Daleks. And as someone who grew up loving Doctor Who, there was one of those things like, no, it's not a Dalek, it's R2-D2. I don't mind you calling it a dustbin. You know, I understand you mean trash can. But in the end, you know, it's not a Dalek. And so it's like, come on. Yeah, and then they gave us the go-ahead, and thankfully, I think up to this point, we haven't done anything to embarrass the franchise or Lucasfilm in any way. I think we go out, we put you know, a really good show, and we make people laugh.
Yeah, it stays true to the trilogy, and it's very, very funny.
Well, thank you.
Did you wrote the whole thing? Did you came up with the mirror part for the Empire?
Yes. That one is mine from the get-go.
By far, my favorite part.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you dug that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that through the course of the years, other people have come in and put in some very smart, very funny stuff. I mean, like TIE Fighter, which I now do running with a couple little vents by my head where I run out into the audience going, yeah, for the first TIE Fighter entrance. I think was Jason Major, one of the guys who's been involved with the production, and like the Jabba the Hutt thing with the guy who came out as Jabba the Hutt, he came up with the whole Jabba the Hutt bit, and that's Michael Cornacchia. And which I've always, sort of hated myself that I didn't come up with. Oh, you need a half-naked fat guy. Yes, that makes sense. But also his performance just kills it.
Yeah.
And it's, it's again over the years, and I think that's going to be the same case with the prequels, because the prequels is sort of like freshly born still. So if we're able to keep doing the show, if Lucasfilm allows us to, I think that's going to continue to evolve, and we'll find some more funny stuff. But throughout the course of the years of doing the original trilogy, the best thing forward has always been we've had really talented, really smart performers that come in and want to try things. And sometimes, people suggest things that don't work, and that's where I have to come in and say, yeah, not so much. But then there are those times where these people come up with these acts of comedic genius, which I get a fair amount of credit for, which I probably shouldn't. But that really end up making the show. I mean, there's just there's bits and pieces throughout the whole thing that I can point to and say, this guy came up with that, or this girl came up with that, and say, thank God they did the show.
So do you have a lot of the original cast left, or is it turned over?
Well, you know what? From the original cast, there's only two of us, and that's myself and Princess Leia Maya Peters, who's just really an extraordinary actress who does all kinds of stuff, and she works in town with a theater company here and does really great work. Beyond that, we had for the longest time, since 2002, we had about the same 10 people doing the show for about 10 years. And then this past go-round, we were able to, because of work, life, people living elsewhere, we had to sort of bring in some new blood. And so like half the cast, about 6 people from that cast, are still with us, and then another 6, we brought another new 6 people who are, really, really talented, incredible folks that, and again, amazing people that you just see on TV and movies and all kinds of stuff, and you go, oh yeah, that guy's in Mad Men, or
right.
Oh, that gal's in Colgate commercial, I mean, it's
right.
a whole set of people that, just working smart comedic actors here in town that, I don't know what they're doing goofing around with me doing Star Wars. It's really quite bizarre.
Oh, I mean, it's funny. You probably, if you lose one, you'd probably have people lining up to do it. I mean,
it is surprising, and yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I think for a lot of people who do the show, it gets to be kind of addicting because it's a really, really fast-paced show, and it is a little bit dangerous too. I mean, just from some of the exits and entrance, and we got chairs on our heads and weird stuff. But the thing is you run around so fast and you do these lines so quickly that it is a lot like being a kid again. It's like you are playing Star Wars and you're doing it in front of people who are really enjoying it. So that's even more fun, that people are going crazy and cheering and applauding and laughing. And it always amazes me because, again, we have people that, have worked in all kinds of other films and TV and have, their own success, and some of those same people that should have no desire to want to do this goofy play again, end up contacting me now and then saying, hey, I'd love to come back and do this. And so it's really incredible.
What was I going to say? Have you ever had to, or has Lucas ever seen a copy of it or been to one of your performances?
Well, we did the original trilogy for him up at Skywalker Ranch. In 2002, after we did Celebration 2, I really sort of made it a point to say, they've seen us now. I mean, like official Lucasfilm people have seen us. We really would love to go to Skywalker Ranch. And so we talked to Steve Sansweet and Mary Franklin, who are just brilliant, wonderful people. And they had us come up for like the annual, conference or the annual thing that they do every summer, I guess.
Right.
And so we were able to do it there at Skywalker Ranch for George Lucas and everybody at Lucasfilm, and I got to lurk in the background while it was going on, which is where George Lucas was. And so I was like watching him enjoy us do a play on his films, and it was really just sort of nuts because. that point.
Performing that in front of a few thousand people or George Lucas, which is more nerve-wracking?
I think at that point it was George Lucas.
Yeah.
If you ask me now, after what we just did at Celebrations, I don't know. I mean, back then I'd probably say George Lucas. Because again, we didn't know how he would react personally to it because, even the original trilogy, the stuff we do that's goofy and quick and fast and, are making little jokes and doing stuff, all with their actual dialogue, but just our take on it is,
right.
Comedically skewed. And he could have, he probably could have had us all killed, incinerated or a trash compactor or something. So we were, really lucky that, he dug it, and afterwards he talked to us for a long time, and he's just really cool, just a nice guy, just good, funny guy. And, that was cool. Because, again, he's one of those people that we all sort of grew up with and we knew and we sort of revere, but nobody really sort of knows him that much. And so you don't know, how he's going to react. He could have come up to me and just, he could have been wearing, white gloves, and he could have come up and slapped me like the Bugs Bunny thing. I mean, who knows?
Right. So when did you decide to add the new trilogy to it?
Well, it was sort of decided for us. When we did that Skywalker Ranch performance, Lucas came up to us afterwards, and he was saying, you have to do all 6 when I'm done. And at that point, Attack of the Clones had just come out. So he sort of called, his shot with that. And he even did, some interview, I think, with the LA Times saying, again, we had to do it. So, and again, I was totally up for it. It's just at that point, it's like, we just did a show, dude. Come on, back off. And so, we weren't able to do it for C5. And at C4, I believe, C3 was right before Sith came out. C4, it'd been a couple years, I think, since Sith came out. So, again, I wanted to have some purchase for the prequels having some weight in people's minds. Because I think the original trilogy, they're never, for whoever loves the prequels as much as anyone can, they're never going to hold as much sway as the original trilogy did for those who grew up with it.
Right.
Just because there's so much more for kids and people to watch now. There's so much else going on. It's just Star Wars was sort of the singular thing that a lot of people were able to unite behind. Because, again, there wasn't much out there. It was that revolutionary. It was that extraordinary. So I don't care how much anyone loves the prequels. There's just no way that they would be able to be as in the zeitgeist or so pop culture aware as that original trilogy is. So I wanted to have some time between all 3 being out so that the moments that would hit more. And then this year it just ended up being sort of a perfect storm because I have a son. My oldest son turned 6 this year, and he had been watching the prequels after doing the original trilogy, untouched,
right.
Special edition here. We did the prequels, last year, and so now those were becoming part of his Star Wars experience, and I wanted to sort of, deal with that and do this goofy play and let him see us do our take on it. And he even gave me a couple ideas for it, which were great. So, and I wanted to respect the prequels as much, because again, the prequels are never going to hold for me the way the original trilogy did, because I'm a grown-up. And
I don't think they're going to hold for anybody with the way that the original trilogy did.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
offense,
But I think there are some kids and there are some people that really, that may even prefer them to the original trilogy, or think that there's weird stuff with the original trilogy. I think they're all wrong.
Agreed.
But it's one of those things where, again, I don't want to come in and I don't want to come in and just sort of make fun of the prequels or take shots at the prequels or do any of that, because, again, that's not what the show's about. We'll make certain jokes about certain things, or we'll try to accentuate something that seems goofy, but we do that with the original trilogy, too. The whole, Luke and Leia being brother-sister thing,
right.
We play on that. And so I wanted to be respectful of that, as well as my son and anyone else who's a fan of the prequels, as much as the original trilogy, and to keep the whole thing sort of semi-consistent, too. Because, again, if it went from original trilogy to prequels and we were, changing sort of how we did our jobs of making people laugh from just sort of goofing around and doing this funny, intense comedy thing, and then we change to something else where we're going, this isn't that great, then that doesn't work for anybody. And
yeah, you want to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that my buddy, one of my friends lives out in LA. He's been out there for a couple years now, but I'm actually shocked he hasn't tracked you guys down yet. Because he's an improv actor, so he's always looking for stuff, and he's probably one of the biggest geeks I've ever met.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely send him our way when if we get a chance to do it again.
Yeah, definitely, because he's part of this. Apparently, he's part of a group called the Straight Jacket Society. I don't know anything about them, but they're a group of sketch comedians. So it's actually kind of cool. Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't tracked you guys down though.
Yeah. Well, usually when we do the show here, we're like this sort of guerrilla band of warriors, because we always sort of get the okay from Lucasfilm, a few weeks before we go up. And then, at that point, we're just trying to get the show up and be nuts and get it out there. And so we're all sort of a small little company of actors. We're not sort of a big. We're not like that Star Wars in concert thing that went all over the country.
Oh God, that was huge. I missed it. I was actually upset that I missed it, but I've actually gotten to see London Symphony Orchestra perform. So that was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. That probably might even be better. So yeah, the actual dudes.
Yes.
Let's see. What else I have? Was the curtain falling at that one? The performance I was at was the one where the curtain fell. Was that the craziest?
Oh, that was awesome.
Was that the craziest thing that's happened, or is anything else wacky happened while you were on stage?
That was probably. I think that's going to be the top thing that any of us mention, going forward, because that's never happened where an entire side of the stage has the curtains just fall. Yeah. I mean, it was especially. Well, cause again, it was right at the start of episode 2. I know because I was on stage acting as well as like 3 or 4 other actors, and we just looked over to stage left, and like half of the stage is just covered in curtains. I mean, it was insane. And so we're trying to figure out what to do, and we just sort of focus on, and our emperor, Mark Riley, who's this incredible actor, saying, I will get my best people on it, or something to that effect, just playing with the moment. And we just kept going, and I think that's one of the things about this show that is really impressive for me as the writer-director, is that these actors just don't give up. I mean, they just keep going, and they're like the hardest-working guys. And it's like, half the stage collapses in, and they just keep going. And it's almost like, it's like a strong football team or something where, it doesn't matter what goes on. I mean, we've had people, fall off the stage, myself included. I've fallen off the stage doing Yoda, and fell off 4 feet, and thankfully landed just on my back and was fine and was able to jump, off stage and then come back on for my next entrance. But we have, just every show, you never know what's going to happen, and that's sort of part of the fun that I think is there, and it's sort of this bond we have with every audience that comes to see it. And I think that's why we get so much, repeat audience members, is because it is a high energy comedic maelstrom that we're gonna rip laughs from you one way or the other, and you never know what you're gonna get from show to show because things just go wrong, and it's how we play with it that makes it a fun experience. When we had one time where Luke Skywalker came out with his X-wing fighter, which is a folding chair, and Yoda came sliding out and landed, right with his crotch over the X-wing fighter. And the first line after that was, "Oh no, we'll never get it out now." And that was actual Luke's line, but it takes on a whole different meaning when Yoda's crotch is humping your X-wing. So yeah, I mean, it's really one of the best things about the show is that you always know basically kind of what you're going to get. But nothing's ever guaranteed, and with these actors, these are people who know how to work things on the fly, who know how to improv if necessary, which we generally don't do because again we're just taking directly from the actual films themselves. But if we have to, we'll make stuff work, because nothing's going to stop us.
Yeah, the entrance to Dagobah just cracked me up because I just wasn't expecting of how he just kind of throws R2 and the chair to crash in.
Yeah. Well, in fact, that surprised us more so too with that actor Paul Stanko, who's fantastic. He he's just started actually doing that when we did this run. He's new to our show this year. He's this young actor just fresh out of USC.
Mm-hmm.
And our previous Lukes would, just sort of semi-crash the thing, the X-Wing, semi-gently, as well as R2. He's actually the first Luke to actually break R2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, this R2's lasted with us for 17 years now. And he's never had the yes, and I refer to our R2 as if it's actually a living being, but our R2s lasted this long without any major problems, and then this year, right before we went to Celebration, he just threw him down and cracked his whole front. We did a fake story on our Facebook page where we said that R2 had to go to the hospital and took pictures and all kinds of stuff, and it's one of those things where again he's come into this sort of pre-existing production. And he's added some new comedic bits that just make it, stronger and better and funnier. And that's one of the greatest things about this show is that it continues to evolve.
Yeah, that was how I ended up recognizing you guys when I was on the exhibit floor. Was that R2? Because I was kind of walking around. I was walking around. I had my headphones on. I wasn't paying attention. I saw the R2, and I went, "That damn thing looks familiar." And it was hanging around your neck, and I'm like, "Oh wait, I just saw these guys 5 minutes ago."
Yeah. We some of our the props that we really wanted to take care of, we had to make sure that we sort of kept with us. And so, if we wanted to go check out the floor, we had to take R2 with us instead of keeping him backstage. Because who knows? If you leave it backstage, Anthony Daniels might try and hump it or something. You never know. So,
Seth Green might throw it in one of his robot chickens, or
exactly. So we made sure that out of all of our props, that's sort of our most important one.
Did you guys pick up anything cool at Celebration while you're on the exhibit floor, or just looking around?
No, I didn't. I looked around and I didn't have anything really in mind to do. I got some Lego Star Wars stuff for my kids, but there was one shirt I wanted. There was this cool Doctor Who shirt that had all 11 Doctors on it, with my favorite Doctor when I was a kid, the 5th Doctor, in the middle. And nobody's favorite Doctor is the 5th Doctor. That's just how weird I am. I guess he's David Tennant's favorite, so that's something. So that counts for something. But I wanted that one shirt, and they had I could go for 2 different sizes because I'm a chunky man. I can fit in 2 different sort of T-shirt sizes, and they were sold out of both. And after that, I was just crushed. I saw a lot of stuff that looked cool, but in the end, I tried one time to get one of the exclusives. I think the Lego exclusive they had, and I was the last person that they stopped with.
Oh, that sucks. That always sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that.
But the thing is, I kind of felt good about it, because I'm if that's going to happen to somebody, I'm glad it happened to me, because I was beginning to feel bad even being in the line. Because, we're there to do this sort of goofy show, and it really should be, the way they deal with exclusives is always, it's always kind of crazy as it is. So I'm sort of glad that it went to somebody who wasn't sort of involved with stuff. And I could have gone back the next day to get in line. I thought, no, let's let somebody else do that. I get to do a goofy Star Wars show. I don't need anything else.
Did you get to enjoy anything here in our fine city of Orlando? Or were you stuck doing the con thing the entire time?
I was stuck doing the con thing the entire time. I wish I had. I wanted to check out the Harry Potter stuff at Universal, but also, I generally I'm here in Los Angeles, and I don't go out as it is. I'm deeply against going out. And then, being there in Orlando, I was also I was playing hurt, because when we started off doing the shows out here, I ended up giving myself a double hernia from doing the show, and so I just sort of went and did the shows, and then we'd go back to the hotel and hang out with the cast, but I wouldn't do any of the swimming stuff they do or anything like that. I just sort of eat and talk too much, which is basically what I'm known for. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't. Hopefully, I don't know if they're going back to Orlando for the next one. Hopefully I'll be in better, physical shape if it's Orlando for the next one, so that I can actually go out and do something and try some food and, enjoy the actual town, as opposed to
next time you're in town, hit us up. We'll show you a good time.
We'll take you around.
We know the
cool.
area pretty well.
Great. And yeah, hang out with my cast. My cast, they're a lot of fun. They're some of the smartest, funniest, most talented people, but they know how to have a good time too.
And if any of them ever want to call in for us, we'd be happy to have them on.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, maybe we can set something up. I don't know if anybody's listening right now, but for some future thing, if you want to talk to somebody else, we can. Once we get off the air, I can give you phone numbers, and if you guys want to talk to people, we can work something out.
Yeah, cool. Have you gotten to go on Star Tours yet? The ride at Disney?
Yes, Disney. Just this past summer, I went with my son, and he was even scared to get on it.
Oh, really?
'Cause he's just not a big ride guy, and I convinced him to get on it, and then we went back and did it a few more times. And thankfully, we didn't get one of the stories that had to do with Jar Jar, so that worked out well. But yeah, it was fun. It was really cool. And I think one of the ones we got started off with. Because they have the different stories, right? There's like 50 different stories.
Yeah, I think there's like 40 different versions of the thing.
Yeah, and I was happy, that we got a couple that had the Millennium Falcon, and I think you could see Han in one. And so, again, I grew up, worshiping Han Solo and just thinking that dude was the coolest. So it was good to have that experience. Also with my son, who occasionally will go a little more prequel sometimes, despite my best efforts.
I think I've ridden Star Tours probably 30 times, and half of them I have ended up with Jar Jar. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
It drives me absolutely nuts. I've seen Darth Vader once. Well, excuse me. He appears no matter what, but I've seen him actually lift the tram once.
Wow!
I mean, I was a season or an annual pass holder out at over at the studios here, and. Yeah, I've ridden it so many times, and every time I seem to get the same or close to the same setup. It's really kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the same thing with me. I mean, the 4 or 5 times we did it, we had about the same ones. We had the Wookiee landing on it, going through the asteroids. But again, it's going through the asteroids with Jango Fett as opposed to going through the asteroids with Empire, which always kind of irritates me.
Yeah.
But something else, I couldn't remember what the other ones were. And we had I don't know what it was, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun, and it was one of the cool, Star Wars experiences that I thought was fantastic.
Did you get to ride it before they changed it, the old style of it?
Yeah, I did the old one too back in the day with Paul Rubens doing the voice and stuff, which was great.
Just about to mention
and I loved that. Yeah, I thought that one was fantastic too. I loved that one. That one. They're obviously different, very different experiences, but I loved that one, as well, because it really felt, for me anyway, a little more real in some respects. I think mostly because of the way it was shot, because again, I still have some issues occasionally with CGI stuff that it feels like a video game to me, which again, I think is probably just because I'm old.
What was I gonna say? Oh, how do you when you wrote the Star Wars in 60, how did you decide what to leave out of each movie?
A lot of it, I mean, obviously I wanted to hit like some of the big iconic moments and the iconic lines. I mean, those were the things that always sort of were at the forefront. But the most important thing was trying to tell the story in a way that still sort of made sense. Because one of the things that influenced me doing this was Tom Stoppard's 15-minute Hamlet, where he did Hamlet in 15 minutes. And I'd just done that the summer before we ended up doing Star Wars in 30 minutes. So it was sort of like directly off of that we did that. And so it was to, hopefully create something that, especially when we did the original 30, that even if you didn't know much about the films, you would still get the idea of what's going on. And the thing is when we had reviews, we had people who weren't as familiar with Star Wars as, I was, or other people who were really into Star Wars. And yet they would comment on how much they enjoyed the hell out of it, and how, even though they didn't know exactly, a difference between a Sam person and a Jawa, they still got it and laughed. I mean, we had Fran Drescher come one time with her boyfriend who was really into Star Wars, and she had no, real Star Wars awareness. Yet throughout the whole play, you could hear the ha ha ha, that nanny laugh. Through the whole thing. And so it was one of those things where, when we get those moments where we have people who aren't huge diehard Star Wars fans have a good time and enjoy it, that means as much as anything.
Right. What else was I going to say?
Well, I was actually going to say, you guys should look into coming every year in downtown Orlando. They do a large theater, like it's I don't want to say amateur theater, but this giant theater festival called the Fringe Festival.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, I try to go out there every year and check out some of the plays and everything. And they've got a couple years ago they did the complete tellings of Oh, what was it? I can't even remember. But everybody does these like just weird, wacky plays, and they're absolutely amazing. Some of them are horrible, but most of them are amazing.
But well, that sounds like fun. I mean, because again, that's basically sort of how we started. Like with the Edinburgh Festival, when we were there as part of their Fringe Festival, we went back, year after year for like over 10 years. And it was always great because you had so much theater and comedians there, and just all kinds of really cool stuff. And we got lucky, that we were doing this sort of goofy show that got well reviewed. So again, it'd be great to do that in Orlando. It'd be great to do that in New York. It'd be great to do that, all across the country.
I would love to see it again. I got two last questions for you, and then I won't take up any more of your time. I know you have to take off, but have you ever thought about doing any other than Star Wars, like Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, or anything like that? We
always joke about that, and whenever we're doing the show, whatever's sort of in the zeitgeist, we make jokes. It's like, oh, we need to do the Downton Abbey in 30 minutes or whatever. And we did do a Titanic in like 20 minutes. Back when Titanic came out, and it was actually pretty good. But one of the biggest problems, especially with the way we do it, is that we're using the actual dialogue,
right,
and we're using the actual stuff. So I mean, there's other people who can get away with certain things doing parody that we can't do, and we want to make sure that we don't find ourselves having George Lucas or James Cameron or anybody try and squash us,
right,
or especially after we put so much work into it. To then be shut down because of that. Because Lucasfilm has shut down other productions. Like there was a musical in Chicago at one point. They shut them down real quick, and other people around the country. And I understand that. I mean, you're protecting your brand.
Right.
You don't want to have people out there making you look bad or making money off you in a way that you're not okay with. And so. We joke about it all the time, like Indiana Jones would be great, we have the person who played a number of roles in our play, and she was a Padme for one weekend here in Beverly Hills, and you'll see her in Community. If you watch Community, she's going to be on an episode of Community coming up.
Oh, really?
Summer Herrick Stevens is this phenomenal comedic actress, and she does the perfect Marion Ravenwood, and she even does like the whole drinking thing, but she does it for real, just like Marion Ravenwood. So if this isn't the coolest woman on the planet, I'd be very much surprised. So we were joking about that recently. It's like, oh, you'd be the perfect Marion, and we already have somebody who's already played Han Solo, so we can shift him over for Indiana Jones, and it'd be fun to do. I don't know if anything will ever play as well as Star Wars will. I mean, especially that original trilogy,
right,
because those films work together so well. They're so wildly different, and there's different stuff that always appears. Like you have Boba Fett in the second one, you have Jabba in the third one. It just kind of builds on each other and tells this great story. Whereas if you did like Indiana Jones in 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it doesn't quite have exactly the same, coherence.
Yeah, they're separate adventures.
Exactly, and for most people, I mean, like if you were to do Indiana Jones, as much as people who love Indiana Jones, and I love it quite a bit and saw it just recently, the IMAX thing, which just blew my mind and made me happy, is that, for most people, they just know Raiders. I mean, Temple of Doom, they know a couple things, and Last Crusade a couple, and then the last one, not so much. But that original Star Wars trilogy has been so, so part of our pop culture, so referenced in everything from politics to cartoons to other movies to other TV shows, that we are a Star Wars nation, because of that, with that original trilogy, and and so it'd be slightly more difficult to get certain jokes to work as well as we'd probably like by doing anything else, but we'd totally be up for it. I mean, now that we've survived doing the prequels, we feel we can do almost anything.
Right. Cool. All right. One last question. Just favorite Star Wars movie and why?
Empire Strikes Back by far. I mean, when that came out, I ended up loving that movie so much, and I had like the record on tape, or I had the movie on record, which was the actual dialogue and the actual, it was just taken from the direct, film soundtrack. And at that point, again, wasn't able to have a VHS, wasn't able to, rent stuff. So I listened to that constantly, and the dialogue in it's so perfect. I mean, what Lawrence Kasdan and Lee Brackett did there. Han Solo is just the coolest in it, and that whole relationship, the Han and Leia relationship, just warped me for life. Thinking that's how men and women interact. It's lots and lots of banter where you're not sure if you hate each other or you love each other. That's what it's all about. And so that film just sort of defined who I was, even more than Star Wars did. I mean, Star Wars put me on a path. Empire sort of defined me as a person, and for better or worse. So I guess I can either thank George Lucas for that or blame him. But
lawsuit.
Yeah, Empire. And so I mean, Empire just it's just extraordinary. And even looking back on it now, I mean, that film really holds up well, and it's so well put together, and it's just an impressive film. I mean, there's dialogue in that thing that shouldn't be in a movie of that sort. That shouldn't be that good, and it is. It's really an impressive film.
Cool.
And I'm sure I've chosen the rare. I'm the only person to ever say Empire is the best, so I'm very proud of that. I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, Dottie. No one ever says Empire is the best, so at least I'm original there.
I'm actually a Jedi fan.
Really?
Return of the Jedi.
Really?
But it was the first.
Wow.
It was the first of the Star Wars movies I got to see in the theater. And,
okay, well, see, I can get that. I can get that. But that's amazing. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Really?
But then again, I'm the dude who likes the Fifth Doctor. So again, it's whatever gets you there.
Exactly.
It's all good.
All right. Well, it's been great having you on the show, and we'd love to have you on again.
Absolutely, I'd love to come back on. You guys are great.
Awesome. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you guys. Take care. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
You
thanks.
too. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
And that was Patrick Gorman of the Star Wars in 60 Minutes comedy troupe. That was fun. I enjoyed
Yeah, it
that.
was. It was great in talking to him. I mean, I haven't seen the show. I know you've seen the show, so you had a lot more involvement in that than I did.
I did some homework today and wrote questions.
I see that. This is the first time I think I've seen Drew walk in with a pad of paper or anything of the sort.
Prepared.
Yeah. So, and of course we were ill prepared because we were running late.
I know.
Well, not we were running late. I was running late. Drew, I actually walked into my house with Drew standing at the front door. Or not at the front door.
I parked in your spot. I was sitting there playing with your dog when you walked in.
So, but yeah, it was great to have him on. I mean,
Did you make it on the air before he called?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were. I had literally hit the broadcast button and I looked down and I saw that he was calling. I was like, "Oh, some bitch." So I apologize for the informal intro to the show and everything today, but yeah, we were.
Did you even get an intro in?
Oh no, there's no intro in. I just I answered the phone. I'm like, "Hello." Oh,
So
wow.
professional.
Yes, we are beyond professional around here.
Professional we are.
Oh my god. But it was awesome to have him on, and I'd love to hear from some of the other cast members too.
Yeah,
Because
I'm definitely gonna drop him an email after the show and see if we can get him back on. Maybe some of his other guys, because I just love to talk Star Wars. I mean,
yeah, and nothing wrong with that. And it's funny because I actually met the people who put the Star Wars Celebration on this past weekend.
Oh, really?
So I was out with actually with Emily Ellen, one of our other call-in folk. I was out with her at the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Show out at the convention center, and don't diss it until you try it because there was tons of free food. Like,
I'm never gonna diss anything involving food.
oh my god,
that?
it was absolutely ridiculous. Like how much food was just wandering through there, and and it was like high end food too. It was great. I love food. But yeah, that was a good time, and I hope to hear. I hope we get to enjoy them. Yeah, we don't want to enjoy them, but then enjoy interviewing them later. So, and I hope everybody who decided to join us because of Patrick
sticks around
and listens to the rest of the show. Since we didn't get a proper intro, maybe I should intro.
Yeah.
Or
let's tell everyone about the show. I don't have any thing in front of me to look at. So.
Oh, okay. What do you want to know about the show? I mean, I'm Drew.
You're
I'm
Drew?
Drew. Wow, that tells you how ill prepared I am.
You know what? Though? Sadly, in 24 hours, this is the second time the situation's come up with me. Not
really?
involving the first time it was a Joe.
So you were Joe and they were
No,
Drew?
I was like, yeah, Joe, Drew, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, no, he's Drew, I'm Joe. And I went, fuck. And I said that, and you know where I work, and I said that out loud.
Nice. So, no, I'm Rick. That's Drew. We're R&D Radio. And
we're a semi-comedic show. We try to be a comedic show.
Yeah, we try to we do what we can around here, and sometimes we go a little bit
I actually
deep, I guess.
I listened to the replay of the last show. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. And I got compliments on it, so I think we're starting to get back in the swing of things. Unfortunately, we have to take next week off.
Why?
I have an event that I have to go to next Thursday. Yes, I have a football game. And I know you're not a football fan, but if you want to join me, I have an extra ticket.
I don't think I have anything to do next Thursday. What I was doing got canceled.
The radio show? Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to join me to enjoy a tailgate and some drinks and go to a game, I think I can arrange that. So, yeah, that was that. Yeah, and I guess... See, normally we have like a whole radio intro and everything else that looks nice. And shit. Yeah, we're not on the ball.
Did we pull any extra people?
Yeah, we definitely had some extra people in there that showed up throughout the time. It was great to have them on. I hope we have more people on. Yeah. We try and if you know anyone, if anyone of the listeners out there knows anyone who wants to give us a call, you can email rndradio@gmail.com. We'd be more than happy to set up any other thing, or interviews with anyone who wants to join us.
I tried to get I got Patrick, of course, which was awesome.
Yes, Patrick was great.
I tried to get someone earlier, and I got as far as talking to their agent. They seemed interested, and then just nothing came of it. Was kind of depressing.
Well, I mean, you never know. It might pop up, but it might be something that they just they're douches.
Exactly.
So
they think they're better than us.
I guess I can put some music on in the background. I really need to change out
the playlist.
I really, really do. Have you listened to the well, actually, you heard about the I'm sure you heard about the rant, the Green Day rant?
Yeah.
At the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Have you listened to the new album yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll put that on in the background.
It's the first of 3, I believe.
Is it?
I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna. I mean, I understand how they're gonna put out 3 albums. Like they're gonna make 3 albums worth of music and put them out within 4 months of each other. But I can't figure out if like each album's gonna sound different from the other, or if it's gonna be 3 albums of the same shit.
I hope it's not 3 of the same.
Yeah. Mix it up a little bit.
What the hell is happening?
I wouldn't say they've been putting and not quite like the stuff when they first came out, for that accurate description.
I could see that. Let's see.
Did you know that the bassist from Green Day is born in Orlando?
I did not know that. That is interesting. I wish they would play here more.
Me too. I've seen them twice now. I'd like to see them a lot more than that.
I actually have not seen them, and they're one of the bands that I really wanted to see. And last time I found, you told me about the cheaper tickets that you ended up getting, like literally as you were sitting at the show. So I ended up.
Well, what happened was this was in the old arena.
Yes,
was me and the dude I went with. He goes, let's just buy the cheap seats. I'm like, all right, I don't give a shit. I'd seen him before. As soon as we get in there, he's like, follow me. So I followed him, and we ended up like almost down like probably 2 rows from the entrance to the floor, and just sat down. And because it wasn't sold out, no one really gave a shit. And we ended up getting a nice pretty decently close look at them.
Well, that's good. I mean, I hate going to shows and being stuck all the way at the back. But a lot of times, especially at the old arena, at the new arena, it's a little harder. But the old arena, you could get down on the floor pretty easily. Even if you bought upper level tickets. Yeah. So, new one's a little bit harder. And really, I've only been to one concert in there, and it was a seated concert, so it wasn't really, there wasn't a floor.
No, yeah, I've only been to one. I went to see Tom Petty earlier in the year, which, I like Tom Petty's music. Which is why I put out money to see him live.
Absolutely.
Man does not like to play his hits.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there. Like I don't think Meatloaf likes to play his hits.
Makes for a long 3 hours when you're not a Deep Tracks Tom Petty fan.
One of my friends, that actually used to work with us just saw Bruce Springsteen for the 29th time.
Holy shit! Is it a she?
It's a he.
Okay.
And he just saw him for the 29th time, and left the concert early for the first time ever.
Why?
Because it was 1:30 in the morning, and he had to run a half marathon the next day.
Oh wow!
So, but Bruce played for, at that time, I think it was like 4 hours. At that point, he had been playing. So at least he, for the money you end up paying for Bruce show, which is quite a bit of money, he does play.
I heard that about Pearl Jam too. Like if Eddie Vedder's feeling it, they'll go like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. There's quite a few bands that will do that, but unfortunately, not a lot of. I can't say poppy bands because they're not, but there's a lot of bands who won't do that either. Yeah, and I could see where you would wear yourself out after 2 hour, an hour and a half,
right.
2 hours, whatever. I'm torn about going to a show or going to a basketball game here in a couple of weeks. November 3rd.
What show? What game?
It's the USF-UCF basketball game where UCF's opening the Sun Dome against USF, and they're actually trying to sell more UCF tickets than USF tickets for their home court opening.
Okay.
Which would be a lot of fun. But Weezer's playing the Blue Album in its entirety.
I know, they're playing Pinkerton the
next
night.
day. Yeah, Saturday's the Blue Album, Sunday's the Pinkerton, and then they're going to play afterwards also. But
really?
I would love to go see the Blue Album.
Right. That's one of my favorite albums. Actually, those two are two of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. The Green Album's pretty good too. But the Blue Album's probably hands down my favorite Weezer album. Probably one of my favorite albums of all time, just to sit and listen to. That song just kind of
just abruptly ended.
Yes. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. So, but yeah, I'm torn, and I think I'm going to end up going to the concert because I think I'm going to Universal the next day.
Right.
So, I think I'm just going to take that whole weekend off.
I saw what the hell is that at? That guy's name? Pablo Francisco last Thursday.
At the Improv?
Yeah, while we were off. Pretty funny guy. Have you seen any of his comedy?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen any of his stand-up. He was on SNL, right? No. That's
you're thinking of Excusey, that guy.
Pablo Francisco. I know I've heard him on the radio a million times because Monster. I've listened to Monsters in the Morning, and they always.
He does like the voiceover guy.
Yeah. Okay.
He does an impersonation of him. He's fucking out there, man.
Is he really?
Just sits, dude, he doesn't even need a fucking audience.
He'll just talk to himself for hours.
Yeah, he just fucking does voices. He can just sit there and fucking entertain himself.
Yeah, no, I mean, I need to start going out to the Improv.
They got a couple of good ones coming up. I think this weekend is some woman.
I think I actually can get free tickets this weekend or discounted tickets this weekend because Ruth gets them through school.
Coming up is John Witherspoon, who I want to see, JB Smooth, and then Tom Wilson's coming back in November.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I really want to see him again.
Biff, for those of you who don't know.
Which I just saw again on the big screen.
Did you make it over there?
Yes.
Oh, I so would have. Have they announced when Psycho is yet?
No, and I missed E.T. Pissed me off. I haven't seen E.T. in 10 fucking years. I really wanted to see it on the big screen, like to return.
Right. I've been spending so much time at the hospital. It's been kind of hard, but hopefully he'll be home by next week, so we'll be good. And he'll just be keeping me awake here as opposed to having to travel to the hospital.
So how does that work? Do you have to leave at a certain time every night, or?
No, we don't have to. Basically, there's 2 hours throughout the entire day that we can't be in his room, which is 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. and p.m. Okay. So, but I mean, it's just during their shift change, which makes sense. I mean, they have to go through all the crap and everything during shift change. So, yeah, that's really the only time that we're not allowed to be in the room, or that we're not supposed to be in the room. A lot of the nurses could care less if we're in the room.
Right.
Some of them give bitchy. Some of them get bitchy about
complexes.
So, but yeah, so he should be home Sunday or Monday, hopefully.
Cool. So we should have him in studio in 2 weeks.
If you want, we could try. I mean, it'll be some.
He's got to learn sometime. I mean,
oh,
it's a good cutaway when we have nothing to talk about. Just put the microphone next to the dog and the baby.
So, I'm interested to see how Oliver reacts with with our baby here versus because he's had visitors and he always loves the little kids, but I'm interested to see how, like, if he becomes protective or what the deal is with him. Wouldn't shock me at all.
No.
Yes, we're talking about my dog right now. Better than talking about grooming, I guess.
I guess so. I don't know. I can't see the chat room to
there's not a whole lot going on.
Nothing
in the chat
going
room.
on in the chat room.
No, we don't. We actually, the last thing was from my last show that I did on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So no, I haven't actually gotten. We haven't gotten anything from the chat room, or we haven't gotten any phone calls either. So if you guys want to give us a call,
give us a call.
Feel free.
We have very little to talk about.
Hopefully, do I have it open?
This douchebag today from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Fucking beat the shit out of some 81-year-old lady and killed her, and then scaled a wall and fucking died falling off of it. Now, of course, this is my version of the story.
He had to have been hopped up on something.
He's fucking. You know what he is? Spider douche. He did everything wrong. All right. Instead of saving the old lady, he killed her and then tried to scale a wall and failed at it.
Yeah, he it wasn't. I mean, and they found, like, he tried to run or whatever, and apparently jumped this wall and, like, climbed up a couple of times or something, and then fell back off.
What's that shit where you fucking like walk the walls? It starts with a P.
Oh crap! Yeah, like when you're like running and jumping and
yeah, and you fucking hop up shit. Yes,
yeah.
He's trying to do that shit probably.
Well, after beating the shit out of some old woman, I mean,
he had to die after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, did you hear about the all the crap going down here in Orlando today?
No.
Well, start off with last night. Somebody pulled up into a Chinese restaurant, shot a lady in the head, and took the money. And then today, somebody went over on Turkey Lake Road, went into one of the hotels and shot 2 people in the hotel, and then drove over, shot some other woman at another hotel, shot himself while driving, and his car went into like somebody's backyard, crashed into a bunch of trees, and caught on fire.
These are the kind of people I want them to catch alive.
So yeah, I wish. I mean, I guess there wouldn't have been good punishment.
I just like to hear their explanation for this.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you get sick of, then he crashed into a tree and his car caught on fire. I want to know what the fucking guy was thinking when he did. This is, again, there's millions of reasons I can't be a cop.
That being one of them?
Being one of them is I would sit there for 45 minutes in this room wanting an answer, not like... and it's not like the answers that the cops would want. I'd be like, what made you get up today and be like, fuck it, I'm just going to go shoot someone in a hotel, maybe go grab some lunch, drive over to another hotel, shoot someone else, shoot myself behind the wheel of a fucking car, and crash into a tree and catch on fire.
Yeah, you would be the guy that would just, like, you would sit there, you'd face palm, and then be like, what the fuck were you thinking?
I can't be a teacher either.
So, I don't know if I'm supposed to share this or not, but apparently my wife got a volleyball player benched at school.
Oh wow!
Because this is how smart this kid was. So apparently her and her friends decided to skip that period of class in the in the girls' bathroom, which happens to be right next to the class that the one girl was skipping, which happens to be my wife's class. So they get out like probably halfway through class, and they're walking along and walk right past the window as they're skipping.
And this is why I can't be a teacher, because I would say, you know what, excuse me, class, give me 1 second. All they would hear is, can we do a door shutting?
I don't know if I can do a door shutting.
Ooh.
Not really. That didn't work so well.
Are you fucking retarded?
We need some Foley work.
Yeah. That's all the kids would hear is slam. Are you fucking retarded? Duck. That's the other thing. I would tell them how to get away with it next time. They'd be like, what are you, fucking stupid? Duck. Duck under the fucking door.
I will never forget. I was, okay. Did Deltona have golf carts?
Idiots?
No, well, everybody had idiots.
Yeah,
Deltona had golf carts that the administrators rode around in or whatever. Okay. So we had this one administrator that all the kids referred to as the Terminator.
Okay.
Miss Giordano was her name. And everybody referred to her as the Terminator. And so we had this kid who, we had the big senior parking lot or whatever, and she sees somebody running across, or sees somebody walking across. And of course, she starts driving and yells at him to stop. So dumbass kid starts running. Miss G takes off with the golf cart, nails the kid. I mean, just nailed him. Almost ran him over as the entire band is standing in the parking lot trying not to laugh at this jackass.
God.
I mean, are you really thinking you're going to outrun somebody on a golf cart?
Right.
No offense. I mean, you can't be bright to be able to do that.
You know, they can't go that fast, but they can catch up with you.
And he wasn't like hiding between cars or anything. He was running right down the fucking middle of the parking lot so she could get him. But
I just think people want to get caught.
I think so. That has to be it or something.
I remember my worst, most pathetic attempt to start a fight in high school was I don't even know why the fuck some kid walked by me and was like, I'm not gonna say the kid's name. It was like so and so said something, was talking shit about you. I was in 8th grade, and so of course my friends are like, you kid, you fucking take that shit from him, blah 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 blah. You need to go fucking whoop his ass. Fuck, I don't want to do that. So I walk over there, and it's like, dude, I'm facepalm the whole time, just like, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to fucking fight. I don't want to get hit.
Right.
Even if he is a fucking douche, I don't want to get hit. I mean, just walk up and like, were you talking shit about me? No. So I give him the shove, and I am looking for the administrator over my shoulder the entire time. I'm shoving this kid. And they let it go for a minute. I mean, like, I'm shoving him, and I'm just like, push, and just like, you seeing this shit? Hey, you seeing this shit over here? Come on, I'm shoving him. Finally, it got broken up.
The only time, no, I can't say the only time. The first time I ever got a referral, one of my best friends to this day, he's awesome, lives out in San Diego, great guy, but he was new to our class when I was in 6th grade.
Right.
And he had a troll on his desk. Mm-hmm. Like, remember one of the little trolls?
Treasure troll.
Yeah, the treasure trolls. We were in 6th grade. So I took it, and I was like, what the hell's this? And and he's like, don't touch my troll, and shoved me. Okay. I had been playing football for I was in my 4th season of football at this point. Mm-hmm. I've never been a small guy. He maybe weighed 80 pounds. I put him through a desk. I got a referral for putting a kid through a desk.
Right.
From that point on, we've been great friends. But he shoved me, and I was like, really? And so I shoved him back, and it just happened that he went right through his desk.
So in both of our scenarios, the loser is the guy who starts the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he shoved you, you put him through a desk. I shoved this kid, just sit there and fucking beg for an administrator to come and break it up.
So we both got written up for that, and then I got in-school suspension for pushing a kid off the top of the bleachers. That was my other... I've gotten into other fights, but those were the only ones that were... And both of the times, the kid was probably half my size. I'm fat now, but back then I was just big. I mean, right. I was in pretty good shape. I played 3 sports. I mean, Why would you try that? I mean, I don't know. He played basketball. That was the one kid only played basketball. Uh-huh. It's the only sport he ever played. The kid that I pushed off the top of the bleachers. And he wasn't any good at it, and he had no muscle on him whatsoever, and he just pissed me off, so I shoved him off the top of the bleachers. So yeah, those are my fight stories, I guess. I got into a fight in the locker room in middle school, but they started it with me, and I kind of ended it, and no one ever reported it to anyone. Some jackass, I was changing out of my gym clothes, and I had my shirt over my head. And he decided to come over and take a few shots to my gut. So I shoved him up against the locker. And so he was actually my size. Actually, I think he may have been bigger than I am, like muscular-wise. I think he was actually bigger than me. He's now on my Facebook page. I know exactly who it was. I still remember it to this day. So I don't hold grudges for the most part.
I do.
Do you really?
So I had a few ideas for the show.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I know you were talking about doing your 90s.
Yes,
segment.
that was one of them. It's not necessarily a 90s segment. It's just more so. Can you grab that song?
Which song did you decide on?
Shit, I can't remember which two. I know which. I know it was like "This Is How We Do It," and the other one was
"Mama Said Knock You Out."
No, it wasn't that.
I thought it was.
Let me look through my.
Was
tweet.
it some Casey and JoJo?
No.
Some Jodeci?
It was.
Maybe.
Let's go through my tweets. I haven't tweeted myself very much this week, so.
Yeah, I've been kind of out of it this past week too. If you want to follow me or Drew on Twitter, Drew is DrewMax78, and I am Fat Guy Fix, and you can follow both of us. We're on R&D Radio as well, at R&D Radio. So, and I promise you that once in a while we'll make some good tweets.
Well, that was my thing of thinking with the R&D Radio is I put out a thing on Twitter today. Are you fucking stripping in front of me and we have no camera?
I was taking my belt off.
That's how fucking weird shit starts, man.
No, pizza delivery is how weird shit starts. If the doorbell fucking rings, we got issues. Oh, holy.
Anyway, what I was thinking is if we hit the Twitter hard with the R&D website, and I put out a thing today saying if I could get 200 followers by the time the show started, I would give the 200th follower a shout out on the show.
Right.
I was thinking maybe we could do increments of 10 for the R&D one. Like
okay.
The 10th follower would get one, the 20th, the 30th on up, until it just gets like after 20.
Well, do we want to do
50?
I always feel like I need to give something away, and I don't have anything to give away. I mean, we could just do shout-outs. That would be cool. I mean, as long as everybody's accepting of shout-outs.
I think that, I don't know, people.
Is there any way to track that?
What?
Like, have something set up?
That tells us when we get a follower?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if this then that handles something like that. I don't think it does social media though. I don't know if have you ever heard of that
I haven't.
that website? It's actually really cool. You can set it up where like if this happens, then it'll do this.
Oh, okay.
So like, you know, if a website changes, it'll send you an SMS. You know, it'll send you a text message or whatever. It's actually kind of a cool website.
Damn it, I can't find my tweet. Fine. Oh, wait.
This is such exciting radio.
No.
That's weird. So, it has the suggestions thing here on Rhapsody, where it tells you what they suggest to listen to. So, and they have Skillet Awake, Fallen Evanescence, which are CDs that have come out within the last 10 years or so. Then they have Offspring Ignition, which was their first fucking album that came out like 1990. May have been later, or may have been earlier than that. No, that's not even right. It says released 2004. That's not right at all.
That's probably a remastered version.
Maybe, yeah. It did not come out in 2004. I remember when Ignition came out because that came out before Smash.
Yeah.
Which was
because everyone ran out and bought Ignition after Smash came out and so they could try to claim that they were
they were fans
hardcore
beforehand.
fans. Yeah.
I'll admit that I bought it after. It wasn't for that reason though. But yeah. And also, as you guys can see on the thing, if you want to give us a call, it's 321-800-8923. If you're famous, we'll give you the other phone number.
Yeah.
So, or if we like you. You don't even have to be famous. We might give you the other phone number if we like you.
Damn it, I cannot find that fucking tweet.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Because I thought I was tweeting it right around the time I tweeted about finding my book of raps that we were talking about last time.
I thought it was.
And it's not there. Which brings me to one of my other ideas for the show.
What's that?
For fun. Taking one of my raps and making a 90s style music video.
Oh, God. That might be interesting.
I wanted to feature a saxophone solo by Rick Curry.
Oh, God. We need to get some kind of convertible though.
I want to do this like through the Twitter and the show where we like plan it that way.
Like plan it through Twitter.
Yeah,
like
we
take
talk
suggestions
about it.
in.
Yeah, we talk about it and like how we progress and everything.
Got it. We definitely need a convertible of some kind though.
Yeah,
because you have to ride in a convertible.
And
doing some kind of.
We need to get some kind of auto tune because I sound like a white guy.
Oh, we could. Auto tuning is not a problem. We can handle auto tuning.
I would have to go. I have to, and I have to use one of my old raps. It's got to be something that I wrote in high school because I can't possibly write the type of shit I wrote back then. For someone who had never had sex, smoked weed, and lived in the suburbs, I thought I was a fucking gangster, weed smoking bitch fucking motherfucker.
Wow. I definitely need to. I definitely need to hear these. That's awesome. Oh wow. God, yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure that there's something running around here that would be embarrassing like that to me. Not around the house, but probably at my mom's house somewhere.
I've tried to get my friend Jim, who I think has it. I was in an actual band for a month.
Were you?
Yes.
What did you play? Or were you the rapper? Were you were the
I was the
vocalist?
MC. What I did though, because I can't really sing, is scream and rap.
My sister used to do this really freaky thing. Like when scream metal first came out, she would flip her hair over her head so it was like all down in her face and growl. And she can growl better than any growler I've ever heard before.
Wow.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't even know if she could still do it. But yeah, that was amazing back in the day.
Somewhere floating around is like a little like 4 to 5 song EP that we not put out, but it was recorded on like an 8-track mixer in the basement
That's
or in this
awesome.
dude's garage, and it features me doing a cover of "In Bloom" by Nirvana.
Oh God!
Also features our main hit, the Winn-Dixie song.
The Winn-Dixie song.
Yeah.
Please tell me it was about the Winn-Dixie in Deltona.
Deltona Boulevard, the one I worked at.
Did you worked at that one?
I worked at that one for 3 years.
Because that was corner of. Oh wait, no. I'm thinking
it was the blue one.
Okay, no. I was thinking
You're
the other
thinking
one,
Providence.
the Providence Normandy one
no.
that I used to shop at all the time when I lived over there.
No, this would
the
be
one that was over by my old house.
Right.
You know which one I'm talking about.
But yeah, our signature song was the Winn-Dixie song.
That's awesome.
We also had such hits as Mr. Creamy Pants Gets His Revenge.
You need to find this EP.
No shit. I keep
Oh my
asking my
God.
buddy if he has the tape of it. I would just like to hear it because, I mean, I can't remember all the lyrics to the Winn-Dixie song, but they were pretty fucking bad.
I actually posted videos recently of me performing with different bands. It was interesting. It was all not like that kind of bands, but like marching bands and concert bands and jazz bands and those kind of things. But yeah.
I'm thinking you're either in a silhouette playing the saxophone or possibly like a crane shot that you step in the middle of the street and just fucking start playing
wailing
the saxophone.
Can it be? Can we add in post because I don't want to get my saxophone wet? But can we have like rain coming down?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We can add it in post.
Maybe we add
like
in post also.
one spotlight just hitting it like from up top.
Or we get some women in bikinis added in post. You playing the saxophone, paint comes out of it, splashes all over them.
Nice.
This is 90s. This is 1990s style.
So we gotta go like Uncle Luke music video.
Yeah,
like
I gotta wear a bandana and have some Boss jeans.
Some face down, ass up.
Yeah.
Face down, ass up. That's what we like to fuck.
Yeah, we'll have to get some kind of convertible because someone has to be driving it. I have to be sitting in the back. Not sitting, standing out of the back, rapping.
Oh my God. This might be fun. This might be fun.
And we will gladly take suggestions. Please get at us on Twitter of anything you want to see in this video.
Because it'll probably make it in the video.
Yeah, more than likely.
More than likely, we will take your suggestion and completely steal it.
I meant to ask Patrick if he could throw a scene in his Star Wars in 60 of Obi-Wan cutting Jar Jar's ear off.
Oh, God.
I've always wanted to see that.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I had to be up. I actually went to the hospital early today so that I could be here, to do the show and everything. And I got up at like 5:15, 5:30. That's fun.
Oh my god, I didn't get home till like 1:45 last night.
Yeah, well, that's what your gig calls for.
And that the thing is, I didn't take one picture last night.
Really?
Yeah, I was in the shop the whole night.
Oh, that sucks.
It
You have to
did.
sell while you're in there?
No.
Or no? You just
All
kinda
I have
chill?
to do is hang out and like if you want to see your pictures or I put stuff on them like borders and shit.
Oh, well, that's kind of easy.
And then when it's time for the money, head that way. Drew
That's
don't,
awesome.
Drew don't deal with that shit. But yeah, for as little as I work, that is an exhausting job.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you're dealing... Well, I don't want to go too much into it. You're dealing with little fuckers, though.
Yeah.
My job, I don't do a whole lot, so I leave tired every day. Like, I don't... Like, my mind gets bored a lot of the times, because if there's no development, I don't have to do development. I just kind of sit there and
And I have to
watch.
I have to have energy, and that's just against everything that's in me.
Especially since you've dropped...
Positive energy.
Especially since you've stopped drinking Mountain Dew.
Exactly. I heffed up on jelly beans on the way over here, though. I
Did
ate
you?
like a full pack of jelly beans. What else do we have?
I
There's
don't
something else I was going to talk about tonight. We still got 29 minutes.
Well, you got your... You talked about your...
I know I talked about my rap video.
right, and you were going to do your 90s Drew story.
I think I did. I did my shoving.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your...
I need some Montel Jordan for that. I'm going to set the scene again. Hit
Okay.
Montel.
Hold on.
Wait. This was middle school. I need something from 91. Let's
Some
see.
like MC Hammer or...
Let's see.
91.
I'm trying to think. It's got to be. You know what? I got it. Hit mute.
Okay. Hold on.
We're gonna have an R&D conference in a minute. Can you hit the mute button on the show?
Oh, you want to... Okay, you just want me to let them play some music?
Yeah.
And listen to it? Okay. Okay,
Alright, so
sorry
we're
about that.
to
We
set
had
the scene. I'm going to tell the exact same story that I told before, but I'm just going to use my flashback music.
I don't
And then
even know.
also towards the end, we need a strip club story from Rick.
Oh yeah, I gotta do my strip club story
Yeah.
too.
I think we should put some Luke to that.
we can definitely do some Luke.
Maybe some put him on.
Even though I can't stand the guy because yeah.
music
but-
sucks.
It's not just that. He's he's a high school football coach now in Miami.
Why doesn't he have money? He was in the most controversial rap group of all time.
Well, no, he has money. He just volunteers as a football coach because
Picture that. I don't even think he
he didn't.
He's not a very communicative guy.
No. So, but okay. So we have your.
So I'm going to tell the exact same story, but from now on, these 90s flashback stories are going to come with music appropriate to the age. So this would have been about 8th grade for me. God, I don't remember the song starting out this bad.
This is a remix.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's 1991, Rick.
Okay.
We're in the cafeteria. I'm not going to use names, of course, again. But one of my buddies comes up, tells me this other dude was talking shit about me. My other buddies inform me that I have to go whoop his ass. Can we fast forward a little bit? There we go.
Wasn't set it for you?
Does it say the story's gonna be over by the time they figure out what the song is? So anyway,
Hold on. This one. There we
this
go.
really sucks.
You know the actual name of the song is "You Got It."
Do I? Here we go. There we go. See, this is more like it. All right. It's 1991. I'm in middle school, as we've established before. My friend comes up to me, tells me this other dude, we'll call him CM, has been talking shit about me.
Carlos Mencia?
Yes, Carlos Mencia comes up to me and tells me this other dude has been talking shit about me. My other friends inform me that I have to go kick his ass, otherwise I'm a bitch. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I can't get the same passion built up for it like I had originally. But
I'm sorry.
basically, I just did not want to fucking fight this guy because I don't want to get hit. My instinct is to not get hit, but I didn't want to look like a bitch. So I walk up, and the entire time I am shoving this kid, it never got beyond shoving. He shoved me, or I shoved him, he shoved me, like 2 or 3 times. The entire time, every time I shove him, I am looking around trying to draw attention to any administrator around that there's a fight going on that they need to break the fuck off. All right? If you can picture a little chunky, more hair dude just fucking shoving and staring left to right, just begging for someone to come break up this fucking fight. I think the administrator let it go for that exact reason for a few moments before coming and dragging me away. And of course, once they drag you away, you're free to talk shit to the dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, once they're dragging you away, you can be like, oh, yeah, you left this motherfucker's holding me back, or I'd have fucked you up good. Even though I had every opportunity to punch you in the last 5 minutes.
You don't have to go for it.
Yeah. So that's 90s story of the week.
90s story of the week.
Yeah. Even though we had told it earlier, it was a repeat. I'll leave that on for a little while. So we'll be taking suggestions through our Twitter for the rap video that we'll be doing in the near future. What should we do? We should give them an assignment for the week. Like, what,
We should give them a hashtag that they have to use.
Yeah. Hashtag, ooh, what do you think? R&D rap? R&D raps?
R&D raps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so put any ideas for the video?
Well, just do RD raps.
All right.
Because you can't use an ampersand in a hashtag, which I think's stupid. But
Right. So let's do RD raps. Give us your ideas for the 90s rap video. Maybe like what should be going on. It's got to be cliche 90s gangster rap, booty rap, any kind of fucking
rap.
shit. Yeah. Most likely we're from Florida and not gangsters, so this is going to be like more like a fucking 2 Live Crew video than a... Well, no. I don't know. Do you think we can get a car with hydraulics?
Oh, I might be able to get us a lowrider with hydraulics.
Oh, God, that would be sweet. When I was fucking like, when I was like 14 or 15, I wanted nothing more than a fucking black Chevy S10 lowrider with hydraulics.
I had a Ranger. I had a Ford Ranger that I wanted to drop and put hydraulics on. Oh, I'm glad I didn't do that ever. But yeah, I really wanted to. And I had a Taurus SHO. Like that was actually my second car because my first car bit it like really early.
That's the one all those assholes jack up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I had an SHO and I had a speaker. I had subs. I had 3 subs in the back. Had like probably 2,000 watts worth of power in my, or 4,000 watts worth of power because I had 2,000 watt amps.
For when you're
back
bumping,
there.
they might be giants.
No, back then I was bumping. I wasn't bumping. I did listen to They Might Be Giants, but I was bumping some other. I don't even remember what I was listening to back then. I had some bass CDs. I had some Magic Mike and.
Oh God! Do you know that dude plays like downtown?
Oh yeah, he's a local guy now. Well, actually, I think he's out of Miami, but he's always here.
He plays downtown like all the time.
Yeah, I know.
He's one of the few DJs like I know.
Yeah.
Other than like Jazzy Jeff.
Well, there's Magic Mike and then there's Mixmaster Mike. Not to get them confused.
Of course not. I'm going to do the first R&D hashtag or RD Raps hashtag. I'm going to do it live and you guys can go check it out. They have to at the show, right?
I mean, it would help to at the show, but you don't have to at the show.
I'm going to do it.
Why don't you ever tweet through the show account?
Honestly, I never fucking remember the password.
I'd give it to you, but that wouldn't do you any good right now.
I know. All right.
So, but yeah, I actually have a contact now with the company that puts on the that show every year.
The
It's on Celebration.
Cool.
So I have a media contact.
I really hope it comes back here again.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. I haven't heard anything for sure as of yet. But yeah, so I'm just looking at the top 10 songs of 1991. It's actually the top 100. But you want to take a guess to some of the top 10 songs
From which year?
1991.
Ooh, Blame It on the Rain.
No, that was not. I will tell you. I will tell you if it's in the top.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of 1991. What the hell happened in 91? Was Hammer in there?
Not in the top 10.
Young MC.
Nope, no Young MC in the top 10.
All right. How about Bryan Adams?
Well, yes. Yes, Bryan Adams is in the top 10. He's number 1 with Everything I Do It For You.
All right. How about Mariah Carey, Vision of Love?
No.
Damn. Thought I had something there. Criss Cross.
No. No Criss Cross in the top. Actually, I think that had to have been 92 or 93.
Bobby Brown.
Nope, not in the top 10.
Son of a bitch. Whitney Houston?
Nope.
You know what? Why don't you just read a few off?
Okay. I will start from the bottom. Number 10 is Baby Baby by Amy Grant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 9, The First Time by Surface. I don't even know if I know that song.
Yeah,
I'm sure I do.
Yeah, you do. The first R&D Raps has been sent out.
I Like the Way by High Five. More Than Words by Extreme. Unbelievable by EMF is number 6. Number 5, One More Try by Timmy T. Number 4 is Rush Rush by Paula Abdul. Number 3,
featuring Keanu Reeves in the video.
Yes. Number 3, Gonna Make You Sweat by CNC Music Factory.
Yeah.
And number 2, since we've already done number 1, is I Wanna Sex You Up by Color Me Bad.
God, I used to love that fucking song. I used to listen to I've probably listened to rap since I can remember. And right in middle school, which in 91 would have been the end of middle school, I was in this phase of rap / kind of liking pop. So I would like that shit like Boys to Men and stuff like that. What in the fuck are you doing?
I'm playing Drawing with Friend, or not, whatever, Draw Something.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. Please
just
explain it.
It's a game where you're basically drawing against your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're drawing something and your friends have to guess it.
Oh.
Yes, I'm doing that, and I probably shouldn't be. But whatever.
Yeah, why not? What the fuck is that?
It's a vampire that sparkles.
Is it now? It
Yes.
looks like the fucking original guitar player from Korn. It looks like Brian Head Welch. So as Rick draws,
Yes.
I will attempt to clear the dead air here with
Sorry.
my usual nothingness.
But a lot of these songs from 91 are not ones that I would have remembered being in 91.
I think Boys to Men came out in 91 or so.
Yep, Boys to Men was Motown Philly was number 11
Mm-hmm.
on the list.
I know Criss Cross and those guys rock, because I remember having those tapes in 8th grade. Tapes.
Yeah, well, Criss Cross didn't make the top 100 though.
Apparently they didn't jump to the top of the charts.
No. Damn it.
So Night Ranger's coming to Food and Wine Fest this Saturday.
I saw
Friday,
that.
and I will be attending it to see them. Oh, shit.
So you are going out there?
Yeah.
To see them?
I'm going to go see them, and then probably, I think Tuesday, I'm going to hang and see Sugar Ray. And then I know I'm going to go see the Jen Blossoms. when
Actually,
they're there.
Jump came out in 92.
Damn. Yeah, that'd be 8th grade.
So
So 91 would be like 7th/8th grade for me.
Yes.
Fucking old.
A Bette Midler song made the top 100.
The Wind Beneath My Wings.
From a Distance. From a Distance. Okay, I'm not going to sing anymore.
Depressing ass song. She puts out some depressing fucking songs.
Yes.
Didn't she put out The Rose as well?
I want to say she did.
Dude, all her songs make me think of people dying.
They're good
even
funeral
The
stuff.
Wind Beneath My Wings makes me feel like people are dying around because it's from that fucking movie.
Yes.
Where that chick died.
I'm looking through. Queensryche had a song. Jesus Jones.
Is that right here, right now?
Real.
I don't know that one. Does Terrence Trent D'Arby crack the top 100?
Does not look like.
Do you know
it.
that dude's from the land?
Is he really?
Uh-huh.
I remember when one of the New Kids on the Block built the house in DeLand.
Oh, it's still there.
Oh, I know it is, but he doesn't live there anymore.
No.
Yeah, middle of the freaking ghetto too.
Yeah.
Like-
The ghetto had to have grown around it.
No. He built. It was not nice when he built there because he bought like all this property. He bought a bunch of houses up to build it out there. If I remember correctly.
Which one was it? It wasn't Wahlberg.
No, it was.
It wasn't Joey McIntyre.
I don't remember who built the house. I just remember them building it. Losing my religion.
I got into a weird REM phase.
I love REM.
In like 97.
REM Monster is one of those CDs that
Yeah.
I'll sit down and listen to anytime.
I like that one and New Adventures in Hi-Fi. After that, I kind of dropped off there.
Got it. Yes. So, do we want to do my stripper story?
Yeah, man. Put some Luke on or some Sir Mix-a-Lot. Put him on the glass or what's that Wyclef song? The strip club song. There we go.
Luke 2000. Trigger man, ain't no style. Here we go. Pop that pussy, baby. Pop that pussy, baby. Pop that pussy, baby. Oh, pop that pussy, baby.
I'm gonna set the scene before you start talking.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Wait, but yeah, give me the year.
2007.
Oh, good God, I knew you back then.
Yes, you did.
Did I know you when this happened?
No,
Okay.
you did not.
Okay, so it's 2000. Where are we at?
Huh?
Are we at Molly Brown's?
We are at Molly Brown's.
Okay, so it's 2007, Daytona Beach, Florida. A younger, slightly chunkier Rick Curry sits at the stage as some sweaty, nasty whore named fucking, Sparkles, takes to the stage with glitter all over her and smells of fucking BO, and she's been out fucking doing blow and blowing guys all night. And that brings us to Rick, who's bobbing his head with like $5 in ones in his hand and a Jack and Coke in the other.
Well, actually not quite, but close. So we had been up at Molly Brown's 2 for most of the night.
Oh, the all nude.
The all nude one. So we decided to go downstairs to Molly Brown's 1, so we can get some drinks because you can't drink upstairs. So we're sitting there, and my best man. This is at my bachelor party.
Okay.
My best man decides that he is going to go ahead and buy me a lap dance from the girl he thinks is the hottest girl in the club, which she was attractive by all means. But we're there, and she brings me to the private dance area, and she's going at it, doing her thing. Middle of the song, stops, gets up, and says thank you. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, song's not over yet. And so she gets back, she starts dancing again, then she gets up, song's towards the end of it, and says thank you again. I was like, no, song's not over. Finally, at the end, she gets up, and this is kind of visual, but she does the sign for thank you and says thank you.
I know who you're talking about.
She was a deaf stripper.
I know who you're talking about.
Blonde girl, fake
Not
titties,
that I've ever been to a gentleman's club in my life.
fake, big old fake titties.
Yes, I remember.
blonde girl.
I one night, me and my friend, two of my friends who will remain nameless, went there, and she was there, and she was one of our options after we already knew she was deaf.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Dude, how sexy is that?
yeah,
What if she starts talking?
I know. That's true.
You like that?
It was so fun
I'm gonna
because
go-
I didn't put two and two together until because he just grabbed the girl he thought was the hottest girl.
Right.
I have another story from that same night that I will share next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such a and so to continue on the story, the next day was the wedding.
Uh-huh.
So after he gets up and gives his little best man speech,
Mm-hmm.
he signs thank you to everybody in the crowd.
Uh-huh.
And every one of the people in my wedding that were with us that night, and as well as me, bust up laughing. No one had any clue. So
So how did... All right. Question. You actually, went for it and got the deaf stripper to give you a lap dance.
well, I didn't know she was deaf when I
How
got
did...
the
I
lap
know.
dance.
How did she, How did she know to come back when you kept saying the song's not over? Was she facing you?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
well, she was facing me, and she also would look to side to see if the girls were still dancing on side to side. So, yeah, it was interesting. She's good looking. Don't get me wrong, but it was very.
Is that Oliver?
I think that was probably Oliver.
Think of the possibilities. You can yell any nasty shit at her.
And she couldn't tell one way or the other.
as long
I'm
as
sure
you
she
cover your
reads
mouth.
lips. Yeah.
Cover your mouth a little bit. Let's see. Maybe next week's 90s story I'll tell will be of my adventure. Me and my friend Paul went to, spring break 1995, we went to Quad City Bass Fest
Oh God.
at the Orlando Arena, and we're the only two white guys in the building. And perhaps that'll be next week's tale from the 90s.
That might be interesting. I have a couple of those similar.
Ooh, we got 8 minutes left.
Yes.
What can we close with?
Porn.
We can wrap up what we've done.
Yep. So we started off. We had
Patrick Gorman. Patrick T. Gorman.
Patrick T. Gorman, who plays a number of roles in the Star Wars in 60s, as well as the originator of the Star Wars in 60s.
Most notably, he plays Yoda, and he does almost all his entrances as Yoda are knee slides. So it's no wonder he injured himself.
Yeah, but how do you get a hernia doing knee slides?
I don't know. Well, he plays a tauntaun as well. So he carries.
Yeah, if he's carrying a lot of stuff, that could definitely do it.
So. It sounds like Green Day club music.
It's kill the fucking or kill the DJ. So
So yeah, we had a nice interview with him.
was it you? Somebody the other day tweeted that there was dubstep that they didn't mind, and I don't remember whether that was you or not.
No.
Okay, good.
I tweeted that I was digging that Dead Mouse song.
Well, that's dubstep.
Was that me? Yeah, but that song's not it's got the lead singer from My Chemical Romance. on
Oh,
it.
yeah, I guess so. But still,
I thought he was just trance garbage.
I thought Dead. Well, no, I thought he was. I thought he was falls under the dubstep category. Oh well, whatever. So let's see. We did that. We did the 90s story.
Yeah. We started the process of our rap video.
Yes, we have our rap video under.
And we'll talk a little bit more about it next week.
And hopefully send your suggestions.
Yeah.
Just hashtag rdraps.com or rdraps.
And there's already one out there.
yes. And
we'll start plot. We'll spend maybe 5 or 6 minutes each show just plotting it.
yes, and then we'll actually have to go and shoot it sometime.
Yes. But that's even better because we can give updates.
This is true.
So we're not going to be on next week.
No.
We'll be on the week after.
We have a football game.
Yep. And we have 7 minutes left now.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, what else we got? You got anything interesting coming up? I know. I mean, definitely follow both of us on Twitter. Hopefully, within the next month or so, we should have a new home for our radio show. It'll still be on Ustream, but it will be linked in another website that I'm currently in the process. I registered the domain for, and I'm currently in the process of
Does
building.
this mean iTunes might be coming?
Possibly.
Yes.
So
I think we'll get. Honestly, when we can stream it through, or when we can put it on iTunes, I think we'll get a lot more business.
yeah, I should be able to build an XML feed that'll allow it to go to.
because I think a lot of people will be like, hey, if I can just put it on my iPod and listen to it as we go.
Yeah.
And
that
then if
would
we
be awesome.
title the shows like afterwards, decent titles,
And if you feel like sponsoring us, you can send us money too.
Yeah.
We're all about money.
Because like this, we can put like when we have an episode where we have a guest on, we can put like that name, so that way someone's searching through podcasts and they come across like, they're like, hey, I'm looking for Star Wars in 60 minutes information.
And we could
bam,
put
there
in
it is.
Our 90-minute interview.
30 fucking minute interview right there.
So he was awesome. I'm glad that he, I'm
glad he was willing to spend time with us.
Yeah,
and talk.
it was great.
I mean,
And I hope that I'm looking forward to getting some other interviews, whether it be from him or
anyone.
whoever.
We'll take anyone.
Yeah.
I'll take Webster.
So yeah, I mean, if you know anyone who might want to call, I can definitely get Emily to call sometime again here in the near future too, or maybe come in and hang out with us.
Come in with a frying pan.
So, I'm sure she would cook if we asked her nicely. I'm actually supposed to be making dinner for her sometime, which is kind of scary to cook for a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially a chef that's been on Food Network. So,
I think if the rap video comes out good, we should throw it in Film Slam afterwards. Let's fucking take it up a notch.
oh God. Did you submit?
Maybe.
Did you?
Maybe.
That's awesome. Oh.
Possibly.
So, yeah, that's that, and that's that. And I don't even know.
And,
we got about 3 minutes left.
3 minutes. We need like a segment, like a closing thing. Like,
Yeah,
like
we
a
do.
go-to.
I need to. I really like if this thing starts to take off and we actually do get sponsors. I'll actually spend some time throwing some segments together and intros and
Yeah.
do some voiceover work.
Yeah. We still gotta. I keep asking our buddy Mr. Knight when he's off on a Thursday so we can crank him. He seems to work every Thursday. Maybe I could just leave a creepy voicemail.
Give us a call. We could offer him a job.
He's probably working now if we were to call him. I could leave
God.
I could leave a creepy voicemail.
Well, we only got 2 minutes to leave a creepy voicemail, and I don't have his phone number.
I can give it to you. Think about it. We got 2 weeks off. We have to give some people something to come back for.
Okay, we can do that.
Let me get my Bane voice going. All right. You want to mute that bastard so I can give you the number?
Yeah, let me just get up the dialing thing real fast.
All right. This would be a treat. Who am I going to... I'm gonna try to sell him... Should I offer him a job or sell him a newspaper?
I don't know. It's up to you. But we will... Let me turn the music off, too, because we don't want the music to throw him off either. So let me go ahead and get that number from you, and I will mute us right now.
Muted if his phone number comes up in his voicemail.
Does he have voicemail?
I think
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
There you go.
system. 3 8 7 6 9 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, this is John from the Orlando Sentinel. I was calling to offer you a job with our company, being a model. We got the pictures you submitted of you in the sweatpants and the shirt you were wearing. It was quite sexy, and we would like to have you come in and model our newspaper for us. Be a model in our newspaper for us, modeling sweatpants. Give us a call back. You have the number on your caller ID. Give us a call back, please. And please hurry. We're in desperate need of sweatpants models. Goodbye.
Okay. Well, that got us out of there. So
did we do it? Oh, we got it right at 9 o'clock.
Time.
All
So
right.
we'll leave some. We'll leave with a little bit of this. How about that?